Do we have everybody here? Got all of our staff here? All right. We will go ahead and call the Tuesday, January 27th special meeting of the Planning Commission meeting to order. Roll call, Mr. City Clerk.
Commissioner Aliman,
Present.
Commissioner Stover,
Present.
Commissioner Wagstaff, Vice Chair Nindell,
Present.
Chair Voss.
Present. Commissioner Alleman, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you. All right. Next, we have approval of agenda. Staff, do we have any changes or deletions, subtractions, additions, any of that sort on here?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we would like to pull item number 4, recommendations for the zoning code outdoor advertising displays.
Okay,
We received a comment that we would like to research some more.
okay. Sounds good. Any other? That's it? All right. We can get a motion to approve the agenda minus item number 4.
Motion to approve agenda.
Okay. We have a
Minus
second?
item 4.
Okay. We have a
Second.
All right. All those in favor, say aye. Or you want to do a roll? Does this thing work or are we?
It does work. We can give it a shot. I was just going to do the roll call vote, but if you want to, I can send it over.
Either way, whatever's convenient for you.
All right, I'll just call it out then. Commissioner Aliman,
Leave it. Yeah. Yeah, we're just doing a vote on the
Yes.
approval of the agenda. Okay.
Commissioner Stover,
Yeah.
Vice Chair Nindell,
Yes.
Chair Voss.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right. Public comments. Do we have any public comments? For general public comments not on the agenda item. Going once, going twice. All right. Then we will begin our public hearing. First item is number 1, conditional use permit 23-7, application for a type 21 ABC license to allow for the sale of beer, wine, distilled spirits for an off-site consumption only at an existing convenience market at 13900 Palm Drive. Staff?
Good evening, Chair and members of the Commission. The project site is located at 13900 Palm Drive within an existing convenience market known as Extra Mile on the northeast corner of Palm Drive and Two Bunch Palms Trail next to the Chevron gas station. The convenience market is currently operational with an approved Type 20 ABC license, which allows for the sale of beer and wine for off-site consumption. On May 26, 2023, an application was filed for a conditional use permit to obtain approval for a Type 21 ABC license. The Type 21 license would allow for the additional sale of distilled spirits. Staff has reviewed the application and has produced findings to show the CUP application is permitted in conjunction with an allowed use and is consistent with the Desert Hot Springs Municipal Code and General Plan. Shown here is a floor plan showing the proposed location for the alcohol storage located in the back of the store. The beer and wine will remain in the coolers where they are currently sold, and the distilled spirits will be stored and sold from behind the cash register behind a locked cabinet. Because this project is within an existing facility, it is categorically exempt from CEQA pursuant to Section 15301, Class Number 1, Existing Facilities. With that, staff is requesting the Planning Commission consider the following. 1, certify the notice of exemption. 2, approve the conditional use permit number 23-7, subject to the conditions of approval and findings. And 3, provide a certificate of public convenience or necessity for a Type 21 ABC license located at 13900 Palm Drive. That concludes my staff report. I'm available if you have any questions, and the applicant is also present.
Okay. Any questions of planning staff? I believe this is the Chevron, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, right there on the corner of Two Bunch Palms. Palm, any questions from commissioners before we open the public hearing? Going once, going twice? Okay, then we will go ahead and open the public hearing. And any testimony from the applicants? All right. The button right in the front. There you go.
Oh, thank
Perfect.
you.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Good evening, Chair and members of the Planning Commission. My name is Sherry Olson here on behalf of GM Oil. And we do have some construction managers and some portfolio managers here to answer any questions as well if you have any for them. I just want to give you a little brief history about the site. About 2 to 3 years ago, we invested over $50,000 into the car wash to improve it. We're also investing into our E85 conversion permit, and it's been pending, and that's going to be approximately close to $100,000. And we just replaced the pumps at $100,000. So we're continuing to invest into our site to always keep it up and beautify the whole area surrounding it. So we do take pride in our ownership and take pride in how our property looks and to keep it clean. Security measures, we have over 20 cameras. Interior, we have at least 15 cameras, and we have full sight of our site at all times. So we do watch what's going on in our neighborhood so we can always be safe and keep our patrons safe and keep our employees safe. We do have lockable cooler doors for our alcohol area. We have a great security measures in our store, a POS system. And we did read the conditions of approval, and we're here to answer any questions that you have. We did work with staff quite a bit, and we thank them for their time.
Okay, great, thank you. Is there any public testimony for those in favor, opposed, or neutral, Mr. City Clerk?
We have none.
None, all right. And we will go, we'll close the public hearing.
Thank you.
Any commissioners have any comments? Things, if not, then we'll go ahead and entertain a motion. Commissioners?
Sure. I motion that we approve conditional use permit number 23-7, an application for a type 21 ABC license to allow for the sale of beer, wine, and distilled spirits for off-site consumption only at existing convenience market at the Chevron at 13900 Palm Drive, APN 641-294-044.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Commissioner Alleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Stover,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nindell,
Yes.
Chair Voss.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, congratulations. Look forward to it. Yes, thank you for being in our sound. We appreciate that. All right. We have number 2. All right, so next item on our list is conditional use permit number 23-4, an application for a type 20 alcohol license to sell beer and wine for consumption and premises were sold at 66425 Pearson Boulevard. Staff.
Yes, thank you. The project site is located at 66425 Pearson Boulevard as shown here and is within the commercial downtown zoning district. The applicant has submitted a conditional use permit for a type 20 ABC license for a package store which authorizes the sale of beer and wine for consumption off the premises where sold and minors are allowed on the premises. Shown here is a proposed floor plan which indicates where the alcohol will be stored and sold. Pursuant to Section 15301 of the California Environmental Quality Act, staff has found the project to be exempt from environmental review as a Class 1 existing facilities. And with that, this is for consideration of conditional use permit number 23-4 to provide a certificate of convenience or necessity for a Type 20 ABC license located at 66425 Pearson Boulevard, subject to the conditions of approval and findings for APN 641-041-015. That concludes my report. I'm available if you have any questions. Thank you.
go ahead and we'll entertain questions of staff. Commissioners, any questions?
I just want to express a concern of the number of liquor stores in a 3-block area of this site. I know that there's at least 3 liquor stores across the street from each other down on Buena Vista and Palm Drive. It's a couple blocks away. We got the 7-Eleven, which is like a block away. It just seems as though there's a lot of places to buy beer and wine locally, and it doesn't seem as though there's a need demonstrated in the neighborhood. That's my concern. I don't know if it's really a question.
Okay, this is the Farmer in the Dale? Okay. And I don't recall if they had any, they didn't have alcohol there before, did they? No, I didn't think so. They had other good stuff there, though. Okay, any other questions?
I just thought of.
Okay,
Do you know if there's beer and wine sold across the street at the Carniceria?
yes,
Yes, there is.
yes, there is. All right, hearing no questions, we'll go ahead and we'll open the public hearing. And any testimony from the applicant? Is the applicant present? The applicant is not present. Okay, are there any public testimony in favor, opposed, or neutral position in regards to this agenda item?
We have none.
All right, then we will close the public hearing. Planning Commission discussion. If no further discussion, then we'll entertain a motion. Okay, somebody want to do a motion? Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve conditional use permit number 23-4, an application for a type 20 alcohol license to sell beer and wine for consumption off premises or sold at 66425 Pearson Boulevard.
all right. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Mr. City Clerk.
Commissioner Alleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Stover,
No.
Vice Chair Nindell,
Yes.
Chair Voss.
Yes.
Motion passes with Commissioner Stover opposed.
All right. We will move on to item number 3. Development permit number 23-1, application to establish a mobile food vendor vehicle park. Staff?
Yes, thank you. The project site is located at 66169 Pearson Boulevard, as shown here, and is within the Commercial General Zoning District. The applicant has submitted a development permit to establish a mobile food vending vehicle park per section 17.12.390. A mobile food vending vehicle park means a commercial private property excluding existing shopping centers, allowing vendors to vend on its premises on an ongoing basis with approval of a development permit. Shown here is a proposed site plan, which will consist of a container that will be utilized for storage only, 3 paved surfaces in which the food trucks will be parked on when in operation, shown here in orange as FT1 through FT3, and a stage for potential live music and/or events. The site would also provide a landscaped area, air-conditioned bathrooms, and shade areas. Shown here is a conceptual rendering of the project site. And in accordance with the provisions of the California Environmental Quality Act, this project is categorically exempt from environmental review pursuant to section number 15303, class number 3. And with that, this is a recommendation of approval for development permit number 23-1 to establish a mobile food vending vehicle park subject to the conditions of approval and findings for APNs 641-021-013, 014, and 015. That concludes my report. I'm available if you have any questions, and the applicant is also here. Thank you.
All right, any questions of staff by commissioners? I know one question I had was, and maybe I overlooked it in the report, what are the hours of operation?
I will defer that to the applicant.
Hey,
Start off maybe 2 to 10, 7 days a week, and then see how it expands from there.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Security?
If needed.
Not at first.
I shouldn't
No.
be, yeah.
What about the restrooms? Are these porta potties?
It should be a foundation, a full-on build.
AC'd or?
AC, yeah.
AC'd, okay.
I have a question. Will the trucks be moving off-site at night when it's
Yes.
closed?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything will be put away.
And then also at that back southern barrier where it abuts to the residential area, are you planning on putting any kind of a vegetative barrier or something to block sight and sound from the residential area?
I think that's what the container would be for as well, to block some of that sound and to give it, so they really can't see from there. It has the wash and then, or the basin, and then from there, a container that would go the length of the residential.
And would you be willing to consider beautifying that by putting a few trees to also keep it a little bit cooler from that hot water retention area?
Sure.
Okay, so why don't we go ahead then and let's open up the public hearing and let's take testimony from the applicant, and you can tell us a little bit more about the design and what you're going to do there and kind of the landscape and fencing and kind of what your objective is.
The objective is to have, we noticed a while back that there was a lot of food trucks around in Desert Hot Springs, so it was a place to put them all as one. Other cities have developed this, and it ends up being really good. It actually creates downtown areas, so people would hopefully walk there, walk to Lizzie's for dessert afterwards. So basically try to get people on that public street. So it's been a long road, and we're
Right.
finally here.
Good.
Good question.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and any questions of the applicant, go ahead.
I just have one question. How will you decide which trucks are there to park when they're there?
Well, first would be how many would call, and from there, we would try to have one type per person so like one Mexican, one Chinese, or kind of give a variety, and pretty much then from there of how good the food trucks are. Obviously, if it's a better demand, then obviously more people will come, and it's not a continuous, slow, negative thing that's brought to the city. Hopefully, we can get other people from different towns to come and check it out with different restaurants and something cool and different.
So basically, you're creating an eating destination, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So 2 to 10, you have 3 trucks at a time there?
3 trucks, yeah. That's
And
what
when
is
it's,
permitted.
and when it's not being used as a food park, what are we doing?
We are having stage structures that would be there. Other than that, it would just be a
Like a community
nice,
park?
presentable place to, yeah, you can come and bring a soccer ball. You can come and just look at it. I mean, it's pretty much a positive. Right now, it's a vacant lot, so it's pretty
Right.
much bringing it up at a nice standard.
Okay.
Hopefully have a mural on the container that would kind of
Beautify it.
add a, yeah. So, yeah.
So what are on the storage container, what is the use for that?
Depending on how we can do it, we'll see fit, either do picnic tables or do portable tables and chairs that we can put away in the container.
So removable picnic tables or chairs?
Correct. And then maybe outdoor games, such as like a bigger Connect Four, other stuff
Cornhole.
while it's open, and then when it's put away, it can be safe.
Okay. And the container you said will be on the back side of the, is it the south side?
South side.
South
yeah.
side?
Pretty much where it butts up
Or the
to,
drainage ditches?
where the what?
Drainage ditch?
Yeah, exactly. So, so property line, drainage ditch, and then the container. And then the goal would be, obviously with like a mural, then people can drive by and check out the place. Also, we don't really want to have a fence yet because then you can hopefully see the food trucks that are in there and see people having fun, and then they get we want to join in on it.
Yeah, if you look at this, there's approximately 33 feet separating from the storage to the basin.
Right.
To the rear.
To the residential.
Yeah, that's what there is. So it's got some good space there.
I see you have an upper and lower deck here, right? Where's
Yeah.
the driveway for the entrance for the food trucks?
That is up in the front area.
Off of
where
Pearson?
the handicap, yes, off Pearson, actually. We had to add a driveway. So there'll be a driveway off of Pearson that they can come.
And the
Exit
the
and
shade
entrance.
area, is that open enough for a food truck to go around?
Correct.
I'm sorry, Mr. City Clerk, can you bring up the site plan just so we can all get a visual?
There.
That one right there. Yeah.
And then the goal would be as well is to get the food trucks that are just out in the streets of Desert Hot Springs right now onto the property. And then in return, we're actually going to have places for them to plug in so they're not using their generators all the time. So it's a win-win for everyone.
And sorry, I don't know if I asked this before. You said 7 days a week?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
I got a motion.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and first, let's see if there's any other testimony in regards to this. I don't see any in regards. Oh, we do have one in regards to this one. Okay,
Hi, I'm Al. I think this is a great idea. I really like it, but who's going to be responsible for like maintaining the property? If there are picnic tables, who's going to buy them? Who's going to move them in and out? Who's going to lock up at night, clean the bathrooms, take care of the landscaping? I mean, that seems like a lot of work for the property, so I just wanted to ask that question.
okay. Opportunity for the applicant to rebuttal? Or respond, I should say.
That is pretty much, that's where we're getting the money, because obviously if the food trucks come, they have to pay a deposit, and that would pay for the electricity and the maintenance and stuff. So we would probably have an employee, like a handyman, that would do all that stuff. But yes, pretty much I would be responsible for all the stuff going in, all the stuff going out, the maintenance on it, just like any other building would be responsible.
Okay, and I remember too, in the report that some of the trucks that show up, there were certain things that they needed to have as well, like trash receptacles and other things of their own.
Yes, they will be approved by the city. I believe they have to have their own
Right.
licensing with the city approved. And then I think also from there, even the health code, the Riverside
Requires
County
some of
has
that
to have
stuff.
approved
So
too.
some of that
So-
addresses what she had mentioned. Okay,
Correct. I
perfect.
believe Desert Hot Springs is already starting this with the food truck Fridays, so
Yeah,
it's kind of the same thing going that.
okay.
Well, and I know in Austin, Texas, they've had a very successful program like this that's actually revitalized a lot of their area. So I think it looks good. And also seeing how you've maintained your other properties, I feel confident that you would do the same with us.
Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, if there's no other public testimony on this, then we will go ahead and close the public hearing. We will, if there's no further planning commission discussion, we'll entertain a motion.
Okay, my only discussion is that I would like to see trees at the back of the property on the southern edge as a vegetative barrier to help keep our residential neighbors happy. So I would be happy to motion to approve with the condition of creating a vegetative barrier at the southern edge of the property by the retention basin.
Okay, so that's your motion?
Yeah, I move that we approve the application to establish the mobile vending park with the condition of creating a vegetative barrier of smaller trees at the back of the property to protect the residential area. That's my motion.
Okay. Is there a second? A second on this?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve item number 3 with the condition of having trees in the back southern part by the basin, which separates that area between the residential behind that. Mr. City Clerk?
All right, Commissioner Alemán,
Yes.
Commissioner Stover,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nindell,
Yes.
Chair Voss.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right. So I'm going to kind of do chairman privilege here. Before we go on to the next item, we have a couple other items that are kind of extensive. We have a public comment from Alma Prather? Is that Prather? Okay. And she wanted to talk about although we approved it, it was agenda item 2, but I'm guessing you're probably part of the ownership there, is what I gathered. So we'll let you go ahead and come to us and say what you got to say.
Good afternoon, Desert Hot Springs and Planning Commissioners. I'm very pleased and thankful that you have approved agenda number 2 for, it's called A&G Mart, that we're opening here across the street. And I just wanted to let you know that we have spent over $150,000 on that building to bring it up to code and implement some things that we're really excited. For example, we have a contract with Pete's Coffee. So we'll offer a quality type of coffee up on this side of the city, which we're closer to the spa and different tourist area, and being downtown and with the Friday food trucks, we're excited to offer quality products at our store. And I know the market that was there before, or produce store, has a lot of customers that a big clientele, so we wanted to continue doing that by offering produce at the store as well. So it would be not only a convenience store, although it's labeled that way, but it's also a community market. So with it being a community market, we're thankful that we're able to have our Type 20 beer and wine license and be able to offer everything else, for example, the snacks, grocery, produce, dairy, which would include your milk and cheese and eggs. So it would offer a broader spectrum of what type of products are being offered. And so we're really excited to be opening soon and to have that as part of our array of products that we can offer. So thank you.
All right, thank you, and thanks for turning one of these in so we can hear a little bit more in detail what that's about. Appreciate that. Let's see, item number 4 was pulled for a future meeting. So we now have commissioner comments. Do the commissioners have any comments? Just activities you may have done.
Yeah, I got some, so item 4 is pulled from the agenda. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I got some comments. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead. And remember though, under commissioner comments, that there's no action to be taken, no direction. It's just simply comments that we're saying, kind of things of what we've done, kind of like what city council does. It's like meetings they've attended or just items of issues or concerns or stuff like that.
Well, I happen to have an item and an issue of concern.
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, I'm so sorry to interrupt. On this agenda, we actually don't have the commissioner comments. It's a special meeting agenda.
Oh, that's right, we don't.
So it's actually not agendized. That said, of course, if there's any like small item, I don't want to cut anybody off. If there's any like small item or something like that, that would be fine, or any kind of direction. But generally during special meetings, this is my understanding that we generally don't have the commissioner comments because it's not a regularly agendized meeting.
Okay.
So
That's fine. I mean, we have one coming up in July, so we can do that just out of habit.
but I also don't want to cut anybody off. It's just noted.
Yeah, okay. Then let's move on to Community Development Director report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a few updates for you this evening. First, I'm happy to announce the ADU program is complete fully. The website was finished last week. So the city is having its first workshop tomorrow here in council chambers between 5 and 6 p.m. We will also offer a Spanish language version of the ADU workshop on Wednesday, July 12th, also between 5 and 6 p.m. So we finally got it done over the finish line. And gauging by the interest, I think it's going to be a really successful program. Secondly, I just wanted to bring you up to date. City Council approved the first batch of the Title 17 approvals that you first saw probably 6 weeks ago. The AUPs, the TUPs, the CUPs, et cetera, all the Ps. The way it works is there's a second reading of the ordinance, and then 45 days after that, they become effective. It does then take a while before it becomes codified into our code, but it's effective then at that point. And then just wanted to mention, as discussed before, when we were talking about affordable housing, and the county's 7 acres behind the library, planned for affordable housing or mixed income housing. The RFP period closed and the county received 13 proposals from affordable housing developers. So that is just an amazing number. Unfortunately, I have to go through all of them and we have to pick our favorites, but that is just a really good showing for potential affordable housing project. And that's all I have.
Okay. All right, then we're adjourned.
Gotta bang the thing.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming to the special meeting.
It was definitely special.